you thought the legal drama surrounding Nnamdi Kanu was over, then you need to think again. What he just did in court has left everyone stunned and asking so many questions. You know, in any good movie, the final court scene is always the most dramatic. And believe me, the Federal High Court in Abuja is serving us a blockbuster. The judge had set a date in November 20, 2025 to finally deliver its judgment. The stage was set, the nation was waiting, but just days before the big day, the main actor, Nnamdi Kanu himself, decided to rewrite the script. So, what did he do? He arrived in court with no lawyers, stood tall, and instead of preparing to defend himself against the charges, he challenged the very foundation of the case. He presented a motion that basically asked the court one powerful question: what law are you even using to try me? He argued, and this is the crucial point, that the government is trying him under a terrorism law that has been repealed, meaning it no longer exists as a law in Nigeria. Can you imagine that? He stood there and said, "You are trying me under a dead law." This, of course, caused a lot of tension. The judge, apparently not too pleased with this last-minute move, still went ahead and firmly fixed the judgment for November 20. But Kanu is not resting. He has quickly taken this matter to the Court of Appeal. He's asking the higher court to please tell the Federal High Court to hold on to stop that judgment from happening on the 20th until his appeal is looked into. He says if the judgment goes on, it will cause him irreparable damage. Now, the big question on everyone's mind is, will the Court of Appeal grant this request and put the judgment on hold, or will Justice Omotosho's court proceed on the 20th? My people, that is the suspense we are all living in. Now, let's rewind a little to understand how we got to this dramatic point. For the past few weeks, Kanu has been representing himself after he asked all his lawyers to step aside. The court gave him a 6-day period to open his defense to call his witnesses. But every single time he came to court and maintained the same position. There is no valid charge against me, so I will not open any defense. The judge, Justice Omotosho, was patient. He even urged him to consult a criminal law expert. He gave him chance upon chance, but Kanu was steadfast. Finally, on November 7th, the judge had to make a ruling. He said that since Kanu had refused to use the opportunity given to him to defend himself, he had therefore waived his right to do so. With the defense stage closed, the judge then fixed the date for judgment. But my people, that's not even all the gist. There is another serious drama happening on the side. Nnamdi Kanu has just filed a fresh, separate lawsuit. And this time, he is suing the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, for a whopping 50 billion naira. Why, you may ask? Well, remember the court had ordered the NMA to check his health and report to the court on his fitness to stand trial. The NMA team did their checkup and submitted a report saying he was fit. But Kanu is now in court alleging that the report is completely fake. He is claiming that the doctors never even examined him. He says they fabricated the report and he is asking for heavy damages for the injury to his health and reputation. So, as we speak, he is fighting a major battle on his health and a major battle on his legal front. Now, let's talk about some of the claims and counterclaims. His family has come out to allege that the DSS, the agency holding him, is making it very difficult for him to prepare for his case. They say he is being denied proper access to his lawyers and even to a computer to prepare his documents. On the other hand, we have seen in court at least one instance where the judge had to intervene to allow Kanu file a process because of issues with the DSS protocol. So there is clearly a lot of friction behind the scenes. My people, this is not just a simple case anymore. It has become a complex story that touches on the very core of our justice system. Is the trial legitimate if the law being used is challenged? What are the rights of a defendant to defend himself? These are big questions. This is a developing story, and everything is pointing towards November 20th as a D-Day. Will there be a judgment, or will there be an order from the appeal court to stop it? You don't want to miss the next update. You see, the government is prosecuting him under the Terrorism Prevention Act of 2011. But Kanu's legal team, before they stepped aside, had argued that this law was repealed and replaced by a new act in 2013 and then again in 2022. So, their argument is simple. You cannot try someone under a law that is no longer in existence. It's like trying to use an expired ticket to enter a cinema.
The court usher will simply not allow you in. This is a very serious constitutional matter. If it is true that the court is using a repealed law, then the entire foundation of this long-running trial collapses. This is why Kanu is so adamant and why he has taken the bold step of going to the Court of Appeal to ask for a stay of proceedings. He is essentially saying, let's settle this fundamental issue first before we talk about anything else. Now, let's talk about his health. This N50 Billion Naira lawsuit against the Nigerian Medical Association has added another layer of intrigue. The court relies on expert reports to make decisions. If a defendant's health is in question, the court needs to know. So, when the NMA report said he was fit, it allowed the trial to continue. But now, Kanu is calling that report a fabrication.
This puts the court in a very difficult position. Who does the judge believe? The Association of All Medical Doctors in Nigeria, or the defendant who says he was never properly examined? This is a very heavy accusation, and if it is proven to be true, it could shake the public's confidence in the process. It's a he said, they said situation, but with billions of naira and a man's freedom on the line. My people, I want you to think about something. Beyond the legal arguments, what does this entire situation tell us? It shows a man who has chosen a path of total defiance. By dismissing his lawyers and representing himself, he is sending a message that he does not recognize the legitimacy of the court process. His refusal to open a defense is not just a legal strategy, it is a political statement.
And this is why this case captivates the nation. It's not just about the charges. For his supporters, it is about a man standing up against a system he believes is oppressing his people. For the government, it is about upholding the law and dealing with matters they consider a threat to national security. For the average viewer, it is a real-life political and legal thriller unfolding before our eyes. So, what should we expect next? All eyes are on two places. The Court of Appeal. Will they grant Kanu's request and order the Federal High Court to stop the November 20th judgment? If they do, it means more delays and a deeper look into the issue of the repealed law. If they don't, then Justice Omotosho will likely deliver his judgment as planned. The Federal High Court on November 20th, if the appeal court doesn't intervene, what will the judgment be? Since Kanu refused to defend himself, the judge will have to make a decision based only on the evidence presented by the prosecution. The possibilities are a conviction, an acquittal, or maybe even a dismissal of the case based on other legal grounds. My people, this story is far from over. Every court appearance brings a new twist. The suspense is real. Now, I have a question for you, my dear viewers. What do you think will happen on November 20th? Do you think the judgment will hold, or will the appeal court step in? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. And as you are typing your comments, please don't forget to do one more thing for me. If you have not already, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support is everything. By subscribing, you are telling YouTube that you enjoy our content and it helps this channel grow and bring you more real-time gist like this. So, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you are the first to know when the next update drops.